service.
When it comes to remodeling, everyone has advice about who you should hire. But who can you trust? Your boss? Neighbors? Random online reviews? No. When it comes to remodeling, you can trust NARI. All NARI members are experienced, proven, qualified, and verified by local people who know the industry and have your back. Join us for the NARI Home and Remodeling Show, October 18th through 20th at State Fair Park. Get tickets and info at narimilwaukee.org.
Losing your independence and moving out of your home. It's one of the greatest fears seniors have. What are your most difficult challenges? Daily chores, transportation, loneliness from the loss of friends and family? Seniors Helping Seniors has been serving Southeast Wisconsin for over a decade, specializing in in-home care, catering to your specific needs. Having someone who also acts as a companion will enhance your mental and emotional health and help keep you where you want to be. In-home care for seniors by seniors. Contact Seniors Helping Seniors Waukesha today.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a
Hey, time for our weekly wellness check. Always good to connect with Dr. Ben Weston, Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. Dr. Weston, I got a fever for Brewers baseball.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Nothing?
It's the best kind of fever to have, right?
Okay, there we go. Good. Glad we're able to get you up and running. Hey, look, I know people want to burn calories. You get that elevated heart rate. You're burning calories. You start on this path to health and wellness. Can watching Brewers baseball help you shed some calories, right? You get that heart rate elevated?
Especially if you do some standing up, some cheering, some jumping up and down. You can count that as a portion of your aerobic activity for the day. I think that's fair.
Are you going to make it out there for this game tonight, Doctor?
I'm not going to make it out for the game tonight, but I'll be following it remotely.
This is where you're supposed to say, you know what, I want to make sure that we've got a safe and secure stadium. There's going to be 45,000 people there, roughly. I need to be first row behind first base just so I have a good view of everything happening.
It seems reasonable. If there's open seats out there and folks are listening, feel free to just shoot them my way. I'll be ready, standing ready for whatever comes at the game.
See, we just had the fire chief on, and he said, I just scored tickets. So I was thinking maybe you would have that too. Maybe there's somebody out there. We'll see if our fans chime in on this. I'm looking at the text line right now. Okay, so the Brewers...
I guess I got to give him a call.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know how many tickets he has. Yeah, that's right. You guys are buds. So Brewers, such a blast, right? We love kind of the Brewers' escape from a lot of the chaos of the election. You've got Election Day coming up here, about a month away at this point, troubling events overseas, and days with less light on the way. So all of that can kind of take a toll on our mental health. Shorter days and colder weather starting to creep in. What can we do now to reinforce our mental health against these seasonal changes?
There's all sorts of things that can cause us stress these days, but certainly the weather, the season is one of them. So as those colder months approach, that seasonal shift can definitely impact how we feel on a day-to-day basis. Now, one common condition many folks face during this time of year is seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, S-A-D. Now, this is a type of depression. It's triggered by shorter days, colder weather, and symptoms can range from low energy to increased need for sleep, or even feeling the sadness or social withdrawal. But simple steps, getting outside in that natural sunlight, even on cloudy days, can make a huge difference. Some people swear by light therapy. There's these sad lights you can buy to help boost your mood during the darker period. And then all the other stuff, eating a good diet, staying physically active, sleeping well, all these things, being intentional about these good habits can make a big difference.
You know, cities always like to brag about how much green space they have in their downtown settings, and I think Milwaukee does a pretty good job of that. I live out in the suburbs. Parks are very easy to find, but every day I pull into our parking garage, Dr. Weston, there's jackhammering, there's construction, and instantly you feel yourself sort of tense up a little bit. There really is something to being connected with green spaces or any level of nature.
That's right. Get out of that parking garage, engage with nature. Even in urban settings, getting out in nature and green spaces has been shown to reduce stress and improve mental health. So spending time there can boost your mood. It can lower anxiety. It can enhance your overall cognitive function. Just things like taking a walk in the park, sitting in a community garden. These can make a big difference. And with over 150 parks and 125 miles of trails in Milwaukee County, you certainly can find somewhere that's nearby you. We have World Mental Health Day coming up October 10th. It's just a timely reminder to incorporate nature into your daily routine. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just be a short walk or a visit to the park.
And we have so many great parks here, that's for sure. Over the past years, really since the closure of the mental health complex, there's been this fundamental shift in how mental health services are being provided in Milwaukee County. What has that change meant for access and care in our community?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, by decentralizing Milwaukee County's mental health services, we believe that mental health care is much more accessible and personalized in our community. So instead of relying on a single facility, residents in Milwaukee County can now access support through several community health centers and other local services. It's this no wrong door approach, connecting individuals to the right care at whatever touch point they enter into the system. So we have our crisis assessment response team, or CART teams. They resolve 80% of mental health crises without hospitalizing or arresting individuals. We also have our outreach clinics. We have all these different sources for folks to connect with mental health. And then outside of the county, we're seeing interesting things going on with mental health. The FDA just approved a new drug for schizophrenia. It's a totally different mechanism than other drugs. So there's all sorts of things on the pipeline nationally and all sorts of things going on here in Milwaukee County to help folks with mental health issues.
Definitely that time of year, Dr. Weston, where families start thinking about getting the flu shot. Of course, now you've got COVID-19 cases increasing a little bit here. Free at-home COVID-19 tests. These are back at a key time.
That's right. Yep. So you can get these for free. They're free at-home tests. It's important for anybody, but especially high-risk groups, just like the vaccine. Older adults, weak immune systems, pregnant women, folks with underlying health conditions. These groups are just more susceptible to severe illness. And so jump online, get these COVID tests. Even if you're not high risk, having at-home COVID tests on hand can protect your family and your community. Whether it's mild or serious illness, no one wants to get sick. So testing is a way to minimize negatively impacting others as well.
I know my husband just went online and ordered some for our family. How many do you get? Kind of give us the rundown as far as the reminders that people need to know about these free at-home tests.
Yeah, so you get these 5 free at-home tests. They send them right to you. You can search online, but it's at covidtests.gov. It's 4 free tests, and they'll send them right to you. It takes about 2 minutes to go online. You enter your name, your address, and that's about it. And then they'll send the test to you. You get them in the mail. It's quick. It's easy. And then you have them sitting in your medicine cabinet in case you start feeling crummy or you got your older relatives coming over or whatever it is. You can take a quick test, make sure you're not going to get anybody else sick.
Dr. Ben Weston is the Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin, also Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. As soon as he hangs up with us, he'll be calling Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky. We hope to see you together at the game tonight.
That's right. We'll look forward to it.
Appreciate it, Dr. Weston. We'll check it again next week. It's 11:57 on WTMJ. News is coming up.
One more to go.
Swing and a fly ball, right center field. It is up, it is gone! Off the top of the wall and out of here!
The Brewers look to put away the Mets in the Wild Card Series.
How you like them apples?
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts at 5:35. The hunt for Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental. The playoffs go through us on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Protecting your family's legacy since 1999. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. It's Kraus Estate Planning and Elder Law Center. Connect with Dan Krause if you're at that point in your life, or maybe your loved ones are at that point in their lives where estate planning, drafting out a will has become top of mind. Well, Krause Estate Planning can help you through the process. There is no cookie-cutter style approach here. Everything is customized because your world is customized. They help protect what you've earned and what you've built. The experts at Krause Estate Planning will handle it from start to finish. Connect with them and let them help you through the process. If you have specific questions with regard to Medicare, visit SaveMomsAssets.com. If you want to learn more about Krause Estate Planning, visit EstatePlanningPeople.com. Regardless, connect with the folks at Krause Estate Planning, and they'll walk you through the process. Since 1999, they've been doing it the right way, and they've now got an office open in Brookfield, so helping serve those in southeastern Wisconsin, along with folks in the Madison area and just south of Madison in Oregon. It's Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek in South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's David Nason, your personal inspection pro from WTMJ's The Fix-It Show. I'm with my go-to basement repair guy, Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair. This is the team I personally recommend for leaky or cracked basements.
Wow, thanks, David. Our team at Accurate Basement Repair has been fixing leaky and cracked basements for the Fix-It listeners for over 20 years.
That's great, Chris. For more information about how to schedule a free inspection and estimate, check out AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
When Senator Tammy Baldwin first went to Washington, the big news story was Y2K. And we were partying like it was 1999. Baldwin has been in D.C. for more than 25 years. And after a quarter-century, her values are a lot more Washington than Wisconsin. Baldwin supported providing puberty blockers and sex change surgeries to minor children in Wisconsin. And Baldwin supports forcing women's domestic violence shelters in Wisconsin to admit biological men who claim to identify as women. Even though domestic violence survivors say it would be traumatic to be forced to sleep in the same shelters as men. Tammy Baldwin, 25 years in Washington, has changed her, and now she's just too extreme for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without any major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's time for the crew to wrap this wild card series up.
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
Game 3 against the Mets starts tonight at 5:35. Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental on your home of the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Nansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 3rd. Your top story, all hands on deck for Game 3.
I'm Jessica Ty. Time to get the hot ticket.
Sunny and mild today. Beautiful day for tailgating. Beautiful day for baseball. High of 73 degrees. Slight chance of a shower isolated tonight. That could linger into tomorrow morning, then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 68. 67 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:02. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom.
Lined out towards left center. Churio is there. Game 3 is on the way tomorrow.
Jeff Levering with the call last night as the Brewers secured Game 2 of their best-of-3 playoff series against the Mets. 5-3 was the final. Great rally of 3 runs in the 8th inning. Brewers general manager Matt Arnold tells WTMJ the team is going to put all hands in the pot tonight to earn a victory.
We had pitchers come in, Frankie and Freddie, everybody just coming in saying, hey, if I can help tonight, let me know. They're ready. And that's such an awesome mentality, and a huge credit to Murph and Ricky and all the guys just setting that mentality from day one here.
Arnold, a guest on Wisconsin's Morning News today. First pitch, 6:08. Winner advances to take on the Phillies in the NLDS. Our coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 5:30, and our Brew October coverage is presented by Delta Dental.
You can now buy single-game tickets for National League Division Series games at American Family Field. Milwaukee Brewers opened sales just 4 minutes ago at noon. If the Brewers advance, games 3 and 4 would be played here in Milwaukee. They're scheduled for Tuesday and Wednesday next week. Details related to availability of tickets for later rounds of the postseason will be announced soon.
Israel stepping up attacks along the border with Lebanon. News Nation's Robert Sherman has the latest.
The Israelis announcing that just this afternoon here, they carried out a strike on Hezbollah's intelligence headquarters. This was in the area of Beirut. So those operations are very much so continuing there. And then on the ground, we know that the Israelis have a boots on Lebanese soil presence, and that will be continuing as they try and knock out Hezbollah's infrastructure and weapons caches that are along the border there. I would just say that we have seen rather constant activity here.
The World Health Organization says it's called for a ceasefire. 28 health workers in Lebanon have been killed in the past 24 hours.
So where did the money go during the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee in July? The Milwaukee Business Journal reports that the Trade Hotel received the most money from the RNC at just over $900,000. Both the Milwaukee County Historical Society and 3rd Street Market Hall took in $500,000 each in rentals, but that money went straight to the vendors for event management and catering. In all, it was the Milwaukee RNC Host Committee that spent the most locally, nearly $89 million for production costs for Pfizer Forum and the Wisconsin Center District. The Republican National Committee has spent nearly $8 million so far here in Wisconsin.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow has taken a left turn here. It's down 325 points at 41,870. NASDAQ is off about 85 points at 17,838. And the S&P 500 lagging down about 30 points today at 56.79. Financial planning at every level. It's Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather next. Sunny and limited. WTMJ News Time is 12:06.
This report is sponsored by Uline. Visit uline.com today.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our SiteX Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting creepy to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Brewers and Mets take the field tonight just after 6 o'clock with the season on the line. It's Game 3 of their Wild Card Playoff Series. Coverage begins at 5:30 on WTMJ. Brewers manager Pat Murphy leaning on the youth of his club, and it's working.
It's pretty cool when you think of Terang and Ortiz and Sal and Perkins and Jack. I mean, it's like these guys are freshmen, you know what I mean? And Mitchell's the older guy of the group, but he really doesn't have a full year of service you know what I mean, in terms of games played. It's pretty special watching these guys excel on the big stage.
If the Brewers win, they'll travel to Philadelphia tomorrow. Games 1 and 2 of the NLDS scheduled for Saturday and Sunday. Brew October coverage is sponsored by Delta Dental. And Jordan Love, back to taking all the first-team reps at Packers practice this week, says there's no lingering issues in his left knee. Love in line to start Sunday in Los Angeles against the Rams.
Let's get you out to the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Really doing pretty good. In fact, the only disabled vehicle we had on the system, I-94 West at the ramp from 28th Street. Right lane was closed due to a car that's broken down. It's still being reported by DOT, but I checked out the cameras, and it looks like it's gone. I think it just left, so I think that notice is old. Greg, that was the person who I said, that spot, that driver was headed westbound, not too far from American Family Field. Maybe they broke down on their way. Maybe they were listening to us here on 620, and they thought, got to get moving.
I thought,
just like that, it's gone.
I thought maybe it was somebody who wanted to call into work and say, hey, I can't make it to the meeting because, hey, this just happened. Send a couple of pictures and then just start left to the game, get the tailgate started.
To be fair, the broken down vehicle was out there for, about an hour and a half. But it's now gone, and that's good news for you because we're looking good across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329.
Beautiful day for baseball, beautiful day for a tailgate. Get the grill out. Enjoy some Brewers baseball tonight. We'll top out about 73 degrees. Brilliant sun today. May have some sprinkles tonight lingering into tomorrow morning. Otherwise, becoming mostly sunny with a high of 68 degrees. It's 68 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
I think I might be up where near 1,000 views of the Garrett Mitchell and Jackson Churio home runs from yesterday.
Oh, the excitement. It's so fun to watch.
All in the 8th inning. So here is my vantage point from the press box. In Mets fans, hat tip to Mets fans because they stood the entire game in their section that was just off of the third base dugout, right? So they were their vocal minority, making noise at every opportunity, but largely on their feet for the entirety of the game. When Jackson Churio was strolling to the batter's box in the 8th inning last night, all of a sudden I looked around and thousands of people were on their feet. It was almost like Brewers fans could sense that here's the moment. Like, it's the 8th inning. Our best hitter is at the plate. It's like now or never. Just give us something, right? So you could see fans just sort of rise to their feet, and then he hits a home run, and the place is bananas. And everything seems so fast after that. Couple batters later, Garrett Mitchell does the same thing. And before you know it, it's like the 9th inning, and Devin Williams, the all-star closer, is walking out to shut things down. It all happened the blink of an eye last night.
It had to be the most electric inning of the year.
It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
Let's do it again tonight.
So Game 3 is tonight. One of many stories that we're following here this afternoon in the noon hour.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Parking lots at American Family Field open in less than 3 hours for Game 3 of the Brewers wildcard series against the Mets.
The pitch. Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone! We are tied in the 8th inning on the second homer of the night from Jackson Chourio.
Oh, yes. It's going to be tough to beat the excitement from last night's game. The Brewers scored 3 runs in the 8th inning to win it 5-3. It's an elimination game for both teams tonight. Winner advances to the NLDS to face the Phillies. The Brewers and Mets are the only game on the playoff schedule today, so a lot of eyes will be on it. First pitch scheduled for 6:08 tonight. Our coverage begins at 5:30. Brew October, sponsored by Delta Dental.
We've made a lot of Jackson Chourio being just 20 years old, right? I mean, he's 20 years old.
He's a young gun.
Leadoff home run, 8th inning, game-tying home run. Chourio, with his home runs last night, became the second player in Major League Baseball history to hit 2 game-tying home runs in the same postseason game. The only other player to do it, Babe Ruth.
Wow.
In 1928.
Wow.
Like, that is...
making history.
There's company, and then there's serious company. That's incredible to think about, just getting his brilliant career started.
That's our crew, Greg, our crew.
Well, the FDA is weighing whether to approve a new ingredient for sunscreen. It would be the first additive ingredient in the United States in decades.
Vimatrizinol isn't new. It's been used in many sunscreens in Europe and Asia for years. But the FDA approval process in the U.S. is a long one, as sunscreens are classified as drugs, which require animal testing.
We'd really like to get some of those European sunscreens to the United States because it'll give us greater options for our patients.
And Dr. Robert Kirsner with the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center says that ultimately could bring cases of skin cancer down. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
News that the potential approval comes as the FDA is demanding more research into sunscreen ingredients currently in the United States over safety questions. The public will have a chance to weigh in and comment on the addition before the ingredient is finally cleared for use.
We're getting new details as to how the dock worker strike will impact all of us. Prepare for fresh produce to take one of the first hits. The strike, impacting more than a dozen major ports from Texas to Maine, is in its 3rd day today. Both sides say they're at an impasse at this point. ABC's Elizabeth Schulte is outside of Port Elizabeth in New Jersey with the impact on produce and alcohol.
Analysts expect you'll start to see pressure on the prices you pay or possible shortages if this lasts another 1 to 2 weeks. And the first place that would be hit is groceries, especially fresh produce, including 75% of the nation's banana supply. Those foods spoil, so retailers couldn't stock up ahead of time. We could also see higher prices for alcohol. 80% of imported beer, wine, and whiskey comes through East and Gulf Coast ports.
Don't mess with our bananas. I bring one every day to work.
I know you do.
Our producer Gina does too, often days.
Yes, I'm a little disappointed you haven't taken my advice on how to peel the banana. I got Gina once on it, and I think she was worried that her fingernail would dig into the banana, it would get under. I've not won you over with my method of peeling.
Greg wants us to peel the opposite way of what most people peel.
Yeah, like a monkey would.
I had never seen that until an old assignment editor of mine showed me years and years and years ago here in Milwaukee. And actually, I was like, oh, it was kind of neat. And I did it once, but it doesn't make me want to do it every day.
Could also consider busting it open like a baked potato.
By the way, more than 40,000 port workers walked off the job on Tuesday. They're demanding higher wages and better job security.
It's 12:16 on WTMJ, our weekly check-in with Joel Brennan of the Greater Milwaukee Committee. After this.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied. Jackson Chourio, his first postseason home run. Right field. It is deep. It is gone. We are tied in the 8th inning on the second home run of the night. Right center field. It is up. It is gone. Garrett Mitchell, a go-ahead 2-run home run. 2-2 pitch. Lined out towards left center. Chourio is there. Game 3 is on the way tomorrow.
Brew October is sponsored by Delta Dental.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. It's Gruber Law Offices. You make a call if you've been seriously hurt in an accident, and the family at Gruber takes care of you. You focus on healing. Let them focus on fighting the legal battle for you. They've been doing it for like 40 years. That's right. right here in Wisconsin, giving back to the community as well. All very important to Gruber, making a difference. Locally known and nationally recognized, you count on Gruber, and there's no fee, no cost to call, no cost to consult or retain their firm. In fact, never a fee until they win your case. That's what they do at Gruber. If you've been hurt in an accident, make the call to 414-276-6666 or visit gruber-law.com.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Jen Latta here from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I have told you about the delicious pizza you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate. Now there's even more to be excited about with new sandwiches on the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy options like the turkey pesto, the meatball hero, the Italian hoagie, and more. Skip the same old lunch at your desk and grab a delicious sandwich from Proof instead. Order inside the restaurant or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
Feeling like fall at night? Hints of summer throughout the day. Gorgeous day today. High of 75 degrees. If you're a little further inland, you'll notice it. Maybe a little cooler near the lake. Slight chance of an isolated sprinkle tonight, and that could linger into tomorrow. Then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 68 degrees. That's where we are right now. 68 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:19. Time for our weekly check-in with Joel Brennan, president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee. He is in studio. He'll be beginning his tailgate in a couple of hours, right? Get out to the parking lot, fire up the grill a little bit, enjoy some Brewers baseball tonight.
We will be there, yes.
Are you going to be there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
there
I've been at every game. I'm 1-1. So, they have invited me back for the third game after last night.
Joel will be throwing out the first pitch. I was trying to explain to Jessica the feeling last night in the eighth inning, like, all of a sudden I noticed like everybody getting out of their seats as Jackson Chourio was going to the plate. Like they sensed something was going to happen.
That moment of anticipation, and then he met the moment, and the rest of us then lost part of our voices celebrating that moment.
Would you say that was the most electric inning of the season, the eighth inning last night?
Oh, I mean, the pent up the frustrations over the first game and 7 innings and everything that has gone into the playoffs and the expectation level for a 20-year-old to be doing this, and what the Brewers did in signing him to this lengthy contract before he ever came and had a major league appearance, all that stuff kind of going into it. Yeah, and I think the celebration and the reaction from the crowd afterwards shows the electricity that's still in this community and building for this team.
I have 2 more questions. One, would you disclose what you said to me, Joel, when you came in today?
I said, you're wearing this lovely Brewer-colored thing. And I said, though you're not wearing your Bernie Brewer outfit. And she took it. Jessica thought I said, you are wearing your Bernie Brewer outfit. I expected, if there was a Bernie Brewer outfit, you'd have a big hat on, the head and all that stuff. But, all I was saying is you have your Brewer colors on.
So if you're watching on streaming, you can see probably I'm in like a jumpsuit. So it's a one piece and it's all blue. And you're wearing the headphones. And so I've got one ear that can hear Joel and one ear that can't. And I thought for sure he came in and he's like, you're wearing your Bernie Brewer's outfit.
No, I'm dating myself a little bit. It looks a little bit like the Bonnie Brewer used to wear.
They did have Bonnie.
Bonnie
that's right.
had something she wore something like that. She'd go out and do stuff with the umpires and sweep off the bases. There's a little bit of a Bonnie Brewer look that you have
I'm never going to look at this outfit the same again. But hey, I'll just say that I planned it.
And if it's lucky, if they win tonight, she'll wear it for the NLDS and for the World Series. You're going to have that on all the time.
It's going to get chilly.
Superstitions, though, right? You got to roll with it.
Okay, I like it. Can we talk about the business of baseball for a minute, though? Because there's so much excitement around this, and it's a huge deal for fans. But I also just think about our economy here locally. I mean, every game that we win, and the longer that we can let the season go, the better for our businesses.
For everybody. And that's the case with all of these things. I happened to have a meeting first thing this morning with someone who works in the mayor's administration, and they are eager for any of these. One of the benefits of the wild card games is that you get to host. If you're the team with the better record, you host every game. That's 3 of those for the city of Milwaukee. And if you've been out to the ballpark, there are plenty of Mets fans out there, too. It's less expensive probably to buy a plane ticket, come buy a ticket for the game here than to go to Citi Field in New York. And they travel pretty well. So the hotels are feeling this, the restaurants, all the revenue that's generated. And again, for people at the city, the sales tax revenue that they get is stuff that you wouldn't otherwise get this time of the year. So they're thrilled with it. And, for all of us, we also have pride. We want this to keep going.
We've talked about that with regard to the Packers in years past, about how one single game means this much for the economy in Wisconsin Badgers football. And that really can be an all day and sometimes all evening sort of thing. The series component to baseball, it's like pegging and cribbage. You get a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and you kind of keep going. But then when you add it up at the end of the run, it's pretty impressive and impactful.
And it is. And again, if we win tonight, then we don't get 3 games, or we'll only get 3 games out of the 7 at most, or no, we play 5 games. That's right. We'll only get 2 out of the 5 in the next. So, but you'll have Philly, fans coming from Philadelphia to be here. And that is important to the community. These are things that you don't want to ever count on. But as, I was telling my son who I went to the game with last night, he's spoiled. He's 17 years old, and 5 out of 6 or 6 out of the last 7 years, we've been in the playoffs. We come to have an expectation. But, from an economic standpoint, this is all a boon to the community.
For sure. We've also come to an expectation of not making it far in the playoffs, so we are hoping to change that.
We have very short memories. We won last night. We're going to win again tonight.
Okay, let's just keep on with that.
So my hope is that the Brewers season wraps up on November 2nd. That would be Game 7 of the World Series, and of course we're all pining for a Brewers win, right? That will also bridge the gap between now and the election, which would be nice, right? Because you got 30 days, and there's all sorts of stories with it. But as far as the election process in Wisconsin, Joel, what can be done to ensure that it is a smooth sailing, non-controversial process?
Well, I think the evidence is that it always has been. And I left a call just a few minutes ago with a group of business people from around the state. This is a national effort where they've created what they call pillars of the community, and they're people who are leaders in bipartisan in both parties. But what this particular call was with the state election commissioner, the head of the elections in Milwaukee, and the head of Rock County, which is where Beloit and Janesville are, and they were answering questions about the strength of their processes and what's going on, and that's good that there are people in the state that are getting informed about this. But in some ways, it's a little sad too, because this has always worked well, and that's kind of the point of this is. They want more people in the communities around the state to know that they can have every bit of confidence that the election process is run well, it's secure, we can trust the results, because we've had times in the last few elections where people have doubted that, or they've taken to things, to saying that this is all rigged. And there's a group of people, regardless of your partisanship or your ideology, that are kind of fed up with that. And I think it's a strength for our state. It's a strength for us to be part of an effort that says, no, everything is done pretty well. Now, I will say, like in the city of Milwaukee, they're looking for 3,000 people to fill spots on Election Day. And I had a conversation this morning with Paulina from the City Election Commission. Now, if you live in the county, you can work at any of the polling places in the city. They'll pay you $220. If you're bilingual in Hmong or Spanish, they'll pay an extra $15. If you live in the city, you can work, and I think it's going to be right over at the Baird Center. You can do the central count, which is where they take all of the absentee ballots that come in, and over the process of the day go through those. So there's ways for individuals, for citizens to engage in this process, whether you want to do it as an observer for a political party or actually be part of counting it. Everybody who does that, I think, becomes better informed and more confident that the process that we have is pretty solid, always can be improved, but but done well, good people doing it, and we can all be part of it.
Well, and it's a good reminder for people that it is secure and safe and that we really haven't had problems in the past because the environment is so different and you do have people questioning it. I was thinking when we had the mayor of Wausau removing that ballot drop box, I just thought, oh gosh, because even if there's not one single ballot in there, and before we knew any of that, I thought you're going to have some people who are saying, oh, there we go, it's not safe, look at what just happened. And I just thought, what a poor example for just to people to let their minds go.
Yeah, and we get examples of that here in the city where, they are required to only open the absentee ballots on Election Day. There are, in other states, they can start to do some processing before, but here we do it only on Election Day, which means every one of those absentee ballots, and they're expecting like 80,000 in the city, that they have to be counted that day, which means they get done counting, they do all the work, they send that by police escort to the courthouse, and then it gets announced. And that's where you hear like this big ballot dump being happening. No, it's actually finishing all the counting, doing all that work, and then it gets reported. So, if we change things a little bit, maybe change state law to do some of those things in advance, which has been proposed, you wouldn't have all that. But again, like people need to know that what they're doing when they put their ballot in the mail or whether they go to to do it on Election Day, that they can have confidence in that. Now, one thing I'll tell you, on my way over here, I also was called by my daughter and a friend of hers who lives in the community here. They were filling out their absentee ballots. They're in school in Richmond, Virginia. I was very proud that these 18-year-olds are exercising their right. They wanted to make sure they were doing it right. They have to sign for each because you need somebody to witness what you've been doing. So, everybody should be participating. We ought to be proud of the people who are doing it, proud of the people who work there, and the process works pretty well, and we ought to have confidence in it.
All right, your day is done. Head to the ballpark. Get that early tailgate started.
We'll see you next week, hopefully during the midst of another series.
Yes. No, looking forward to that. Joel Brennan is the president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee. Thank you, Joel.
Thank you.
News is next.
Check this out. There's free pizza today at the Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love the Mind Chef pizza. Best cheese, best crust. I love the pepperoni. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza for free. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 10, get 10 free pizzas, any size or quantity. Hey, coaches, bring in your football, soccer, cross-country, volleyball, swim team. Beef up on the free pizza. Your players will also love the Mind Chef's world-class game room. It's super affordable team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and your clients. They'll appreciate you, and they'll love that pizza. And your second one's free. Business owners, managers, order now, pick up your pizza shortly, or dine in. The Friday 2-piece dine-in fish fry is just $4.99. That is nuts. The Mind Chef in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Don't turn your oven on. Just walk in today for your free pizza with plenty to take home for tomorrow. MindChefRestaurant.com, the amazing Mind Chef.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no interest for 1 year. You heard that right. 50% off plus no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4FELDCO.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. Admit it, you've been dealing with achy joint pain for so long. It's been so long you don't even remember when it started, when you used to feel good. You do the daily doses of medication, which basically just a Band-Aid. You've done the steroid shots, and it just doesn't last, and God knows what the long-term effects are. So let's talk real lasting relief. It is possible with the help from QC Kinetics. People in Milwaukee are reducing the inflammation, getting the mobility back, and most importantly, getting their lives back. Just call QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in cellular therapies, using your own body's healing properties. Find out if you're a candidate for regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, cutting-edge treatments that require no surgery, no drugs, And here's the best part. No downtime. You can go right to the office right after a treatment. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Any exterior remodeling company can give you a lot of good reasons to get a new roof, siding, windows and doors, or masonry work. Aesthetic appeal alone or just resale value help it all make sense. But I'm compelled to continue to tell you what sets Semper Fi apart from the rest. What you're going to get from Semper Fi is a reputation that is backed by an undeniable stack of proof that we are who we say we are. Our character is guided by a level of trust and accountability which not only holds our teams together, but also keeps our reputation intact. And ultimately, that means leaving you satisfied. So when you're about to make that big investment in your home, isn't that what you want? This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
I'm Greg Mansick. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 3rd. Let's go, Crew. Your top story, owing it to the fans.
I'm Jessica Ty, walking off the job.
Sunny and mild today, high of 73. Clouds tonight on the increase, maybe a sprinkle, and a low of 55, 68 after some morning rain, then becoming mostly sunny on Friday. It's 68 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:33 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom. The man who built this Milwaukee Brewers team, GM Matt Arnold, credits the fans for lifting to the team that must win Game 2.
I'm a little superstitious during games, so I'm moving around a good amount.
Right field. It is deep. It is gone!
Arnold tells Wisconsin's Morning News that eighth-inning comeback was one for the ages.
Man, I mean, I've been here for 9 years, and that was, one of the best environments I've ever been a part of.
No moment too big for that 20-year-old.
And Arnold said the raucous home crowd mattered.
Everybody contributing yesterday, and especially all the help from all of our fans. It was what a cool night.
Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
The word undaunted is not just a slogan during the Brewers' playoff run. It has a deeper meaning for Brewers manager Pat Murphy.
Pat Murphy lifted up an Appleton family after their 15-year-old son suffered a traumatic brain injury. He gave them a backstage tour of AmFam last month.
Brewers team slogan is the word undaunted. The sign was on Pat Murphy's desk. The sign is in the locker room. The word undaunted. 100%, we're going to fight no matter what.
This moment was born out of a connection they made through the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Southeast Wisconsin.
Brewers fan for life now, and a Pat Murphy fan forever.
Julia Fellow, WTMJ News.
And our coverage of Brewers baseball begins tonight at 5:30. Decision Wisconsin. Vice President Kamala Harris returns to the state today. She won't be alone.
Vice President Harris will be joined in Ripon, notably the birthplace of the Republican Party, by Republican former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, one of Donald Trump's fiercest Republican antagonists. Cheney was the top Republican on the House committee that investigated the January 6th insurrection, earning Trump's disdain and effectively exiling herself from her own party. Harris is opening a 2-day stay in both Wisconsin and Michigan today. Meanwhile, former President Trump will be back in Wisconsin Sunday, speaking at the Dodge County Airport in Juneau. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Machinists at the Miller Brewery in Milwaukee have walked off the job.
The strike, which is entering day 2, includes around 3 dozen machinists represented by IAW District 10. The picketers tell WTMJ their demands are for better work-life balance as well as updated insurance policies. In a statement, Molson Coors says they've made an offer above local market rates to the employees. The company also says they are not anticipating any product availability issues as the strike continues. In the Miller Valley, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:36.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, "Why would I put up with that?" Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Hey, still time to participate in our WTMJ Fall Survey. If you could do it, it'll take you about 10 minutes, and we're looking for feedback from you. To participate, text the word survey to our WTMJ talk and text line. It's 855-616-1620. Text the word survey to our talk and text line. We'll get it sent back to your mobile device. And as a thank you for participating, upon completion, you'll be entered automatically to win a package that includes 2 Bucks tickets to an upcoming regular season game and an overnight stay at the Pfister.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Is it time to replace the siding at your house? First off, you got to go to Tri-County Contracting. You can hit up their showroom in New Berlin to check out the vinyl siding and the LP Smart Side they have on display. They'll help you find that siding and the color that you will love. And if you're worried about price, don't forget about the 30-year no-faded paint warranty. Transform your house and increase the value. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Parking lots open at 3 o'clock. First pitch at 6:08. It's the Brewers and Mets tonight in a decisive Game 3 of their best-of-3 wildcard playoff series. Winner advances to take on the Phillies in the NLDS. Our coverage gets underway at 5:30. Meanwhile, Jordan Love taking all the first-team reps at Packers practice for a second straight day. Says there's no lingering effects from his knee injury suffered against the Eagles in Week 1.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Things are looking fabulous. We don't have any big crashes to let you know about. No disabled vehicles on the system either. Just a heads up that around American Family Field for the game tonight, it is going to get busy. But right now, 94 around the ballpark, looking good.
Sunny and mild today, a high of 75 degrees. Chance for an isolated shower tonight and into tomorrow morning. Then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 68. 68 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:39. Search and rescue efforts continue in North Carolina. One of 6 states hammered by Hurricane Helene, turned a tropical storm, but becoming very deadly here as the death toll hovers around 200. 100 still unaccounted for as we welcome in ABC's Jim Ryan. It remains a major mess here in North Carolina, especially, Jim, with really no end in sight to this cleanup.
Well, it's huge, and you're right. It's not just a matter of repairing. In a lot of cases, it's a matter of replacing. If roads were washed away, completely flooded out by Helene, the sewer system, the water system in Asheville, North Carolina, was essentially destroyed. They still have water treatment plants underwater. Much of the piping for the entire system was washed away in the flooding, and so parts are being brought in from Charlotte. So, yeah, it's a matter of trying to get a start on the process, but even that is difficult because many of these roads, if not covered with debris now, were washed away by the floods.
President Biden took an aerial tour over the Carolinas yesterday, and he has since approved extra federal funding for the areas impacted by Hurricane Helene. What help do we know that these families, these victims, are going to be getting?
Well, there was financial help. First of all, FEMA has, tents set up all over the area, and they're trying to help people out with their short-term needs at least. Insurance companies are there helping people to file claims if they had insurance. So food, water, just the basics, Jessica, are what these people are needing right now. And, I mean, the closer you are to the scene and to that devastation in the southeast, the greater the need for cases of bottled water, cases of canned goods, things that can be taken into that area. If you live in, Washington State or, Minnesota or Wisconsin, the best thing to do is to make donations to charitable organizations like the American Red Cross. But be careful, because naturally, where there is a disaster, there are people willing to capitalize on that. So phishing schemes are out there, people sending out emails, imploring people to make donations and making it look very much like the Red Cross, for example. So, if you do that, be very careful that you're looking at redcross.org and not something else that somebody might have sent to you in an email.
How much help is coming from other states? Because we just talked to our fire chief here in Milwaukee, and he was telling us about firefighters from Wisconsin who are down in North Carolina right now helping. Are you seeing a lot of that?
Yes. I talked this morning with some folks in Washington State, and they have firefighters headed down toward the southeast. California is sending people. Tragically, unfortunately, Jessica, we saw a car accident involving a couple of California firefighters right along the Texas-Louisiana line. So there are even risks associated with helping out. But it's an all-hands-on-deck kind of thing, and not just in Asheville, North Carolina, or the Carolinas, or in the Southeast, but the whole country is signing on to help out in one way or another.
You know, with these homes being washed away, there's also a call for animals to be rescued and saved and shipped to other states. And, you know, there's adoption centers all across the country that are stepping up, including here in Milwaukee, Jim. It just shows you the level of compassion people have, but also the widespread devastation. I mean, businesses are shut down, schools are shut down, universities are shut down. It is a halt to all operations in a portion of the state that's not used to this, right? I mean, not that any place is, void of disaster, but you usually think about this on the coastal side of a state, not so far inland.
Well, not so far inland, and not from a storm that came from the opposite direction or 90 degrees away from the direction it normally would. People in North Carolina don't expect a Gulf Coast hurricane to come up to them. It's an Atlantic coast state, right? Same with South Carolina, the Georgia bit, but they have taken a major hit from this Hurricane Helene. Came ashore 1 week ago tomorrow on the Florida Gulf Coast, and headed straight north and up into the Carolinas all the way to Tennessee. And, you're right about that part of the state. The same things that make it attractive, the isolation, the scenery, it's in the mountains there. Those same things that make it attractive to people turned it into a death trap when the flooding and the heavy rains came in. Roads were cut off, entire communities were isolated, and now we're in the situation where who knows how many people might still be missing. Asheville is 90,000 people, and, it's going to be deserted for some time.
Jim, I was also thinking about there's so much devastation there, but what about all the grief, too? You have so many families who have lost loved ones. I mean, this death toll continues to go up. Yeah. At this point, we're getting close to 200 people lost. I imagine there just has to be a ton of grief, too.
Grief, and fatigue, and seeing the day after day and trying to get a start at recovery. But yes, I mean, with nearly 200 fatalities, this is the deadliest storm to hit the U.S. mainland since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. And the numbers are continuing to rise. There's a factory in Tennessee where it was fully operating at the time of the storm, was up and running, people inside there. We're told, and Tennessee's OSHA is looking at this, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, some who were in the factory say that they were told to stay inside, told to work, keep on going. Then when the power finally went out, those people were turned loose. They get to the parking lot, and the parking lot is completely flooded. Well, 11 of those people were washed away. Oh. We're told that 5 bodies have been recovered. They're still looking for others who may have been in that factory at the time of this disaster.
ABC's Jim Ryan covering the latest with Hurricane Helene and the cleanup and search and rescue efforts, especially in the Carolinas. Jim, we appreciate it. We'll check in again soon.
Thanks, Greg.
Take care, Jim.
See you.
And right before we talked to Jim, just minutes after that, the death toll did indeed go up. It is now at 200, at least 200 people.
Yeah, there's some crazy video that I'm watching right now, as a matter of fact. A man was actually using he's in the forest, right? He found sort of a clear patch of land. He was using a mirror to get the attention of a helicopter pilot, and the pilot saw him from over a mile away with his use of a mirror on a bright sunny day, right? Think about the reflection. You'll see something shiny if you're above the trees. Well, he found himself into a space of land, and again, this is all wooded. The rolling hills in this part of the country in North Carolina. You found a patch of land and the mirror, which is no bigger than, I don't know, maybe a foot by a foot at the most. It's not big at all. But the helicopter pilot spotted it. They were able to get him some food, get some water, get him out of there.
When we were talking with Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky about the firefighters from across Wisconsin who are now down in North Carolina helping out, we were just talking about the so much devastation down in North Carolina. And one of our listeners from the 262 area code chimed in and said some North Carolina towns are using mules, which we've mentioned here on the show as well, to get emergency supplies across rivers. And the person was kind of saying, I don't know why television isn't showing that because it makes for good visuals. And I thought about it, and I actually responded saying, I've seen pictures. I've seen still shots of the mules helping out. But I was thinking about it. It's very possible that the videographers can't get to those locations. I mean, they might just be getting those still shots that I've seen from people who are helping out, who are getting that out there. But it's not like the TV crews can't just go into all these spots. I mean, you can't even get emergency responders into some of those spots.
It's a terrible situation here in much of the southeastern portion of the United States, North Carolina here especially. It's 1247 on WTMJ.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Milwaukee Neri and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, where are my dog lovers at? Greg Matzik here. It's time to connect with the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. If you've not done so already, you're missing out, and so is your dog. And he can't, or she can't, exactly talk to you, with words. But if they go to the Hounds and Tap, they will likely be up and alert and ready to rock. They'll always want to go to the Hounds and Tap. It's a great place for grooming services, daycare, and boarding. But it's so much more. You can hang out, grab some food from the food truck, watch the game, watch tonight's game if you'd like. Grab a nice cold drink, and you're enjoying yourself at the Hounds and Tap, and so is your dog. The owners are great people. They've built this facility for dogs. It's not a retrofit. This is brand new, 12,000 square feet, designed for dogs, and I'll tell you what, humans are going to have a lot of fun, too. Every day is a play day at the Hounds and Tap. They got bingo and fundraisers. Every Sunday is a family day, so bring the kids out and enjoy it while your dog enjoys it as well. It's thehoundsandtap.com.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Dignified services with less expensive fees compared to other fine funeral homes. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Now at Menards, save big money on everything for your next painting project. Dutch Boy DuraClean Exterior Paint is a paint and primer in one. It's available in thousands of color options. It's formulated to resist dirt, mildew, and fading. Save big on Dutch Boy Exterior Paint when you shop at Menards. Visit Menards.com and view our entire selection of exterior paint, plus the weekly flyer and many other great deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Me too.
She absolutely nailed it.
Are you talking about Jenny Sambeline? Yeah, Jenny and her pendant, the music in a mother's heart.
Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Jenny, we're going to produce your pendant design as a limited edition collector's item and put a few of them in all of our 8 Kessler stores.
Congratulations, Jenny. Wow, this is huge.
Jenny, we expect the music in a mother's heart to sell out very quickly.
We'll also make a few available online.
I designed that pendant from the memory of how my mother made me feel when we'd sing together.
How often did that happen?
Constantly. We'd sing along with whatever was playing on the radio, or sometimes we would watch a musical on TV and sing along with that.
At just $124, the music in a mother's heart is going to sell out lightning fast.
I'm buying one.
I'm buying one.
I bought the prototype the moment I saw it.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix-It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
Looks like a great day for tailgating. Let's get it cranked up here, shall we? That's right. Parking lot's open about 3 o'clock. Game after 6. Should be great weather for the game tonight. And whatever you're doing leading up to it. 75 your high today. Slight chance of a sprinkle tonight and into tomorrow morning. Otherwise, mostly sunny and a high of 68. It's where we are now. 68 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:51. So I'm a little bummed that, so a couple of days ago, we told you about the coolest things made in Wisconsin 2024 competition. And it's a great reminder of how many cool things are made in Wisconsin.
Exactly. That's the whole idea of this, too.
So anything from cheese curds to a spice rub for your ribs to Jolly Good soda. And we had the people from Sellers on, and they brought these incredible paper towels. Which doesn't sound sexy, but it's a very nice product made here in Wisconsin.
And the best part about that was asking, okay, what makes paper towels cool, right? I mean, that was kind of, there are some of these products, like, I mean, I was shocked that it didn't make it far, but Bucky Badger, the mascot costume. I mean, that's cool. We don't have to, there's no debate about it, right? But like for the paper towels, like what makes this cool? Well, then we found out. And how cool is it that they're made here in Milwaukee? And this business Sellers started in a garage and then it's booming and about to hire more people. So that's kind of the neat part about this is to learn about these products. But you're sad because...
Well, they lost. They lost to the Works Burger Blend, which is made by PS Seasoning. So it's a voting submission, right? You and I, anybody listening, log on to madeinwisconsin.com or madeinwis.com, and you can see what I'm looking at here right now. But yes, the Works Burger Blend Seasoning advanced past Sellers in this voting competition. So
it would have been an upset if the paper towels beat the seasoning, because the paper towels, were they like the 12th? Was it the 12th
It was a 12 seed. You're right.
And the seasoning was a 5th seed.
Good point. So now you're down to 8, and the Works Burger Blend is up against military medals and insignia. So this is the one out of Green Bay. It's Metalcraft Mint Ink. So award or reward medals for members of our armed forces, military, and so on are made in Green Bay, which is incredible. I didn't know that either. Metalcraft Mint Ink. They make military medals and insignia. So Jolly Good Soda, maybe the most well-known brand, I think, of the group remaining in the top 8 is still in it.
It's a fun brand. I mean, I'll be honest. If you were just going to pick the number one, who you think is going to go all the way, I'm going to go with Jolly Good Soda this year because it's been around for decades, and it's just fun. You've got the bright colors, bold flavors. What are you picking if you pick a Jolly Good Soda? It just reminds me of being a kid. Are you going with root beer, blue raspberry, cream soda, grape?
Okay, so I like Sour Power because I like my Old Fashions sour.
See? Yeah, and that's a good one for it.
And that's a great one to have.
Did you like that as a kid, though? I see you liking it now as an adult for that reason, but was that like a go-to as a kid?
I did like it, yeah. I like Squirt, too, but I like Sour Power a little better.
Interesting. Yeah, I've always loved root beer, and as a kid, I like cream soda, though I don't think I'd ever grab for it now. But yeah, it's just fun, so... If I'm putting money on this, I'm going with Jolly Good Soda.
Okay.
Out of Random Lake, by the way.
Another competition here. See, the bracket has Dauntless Maple Syrup Evaporator against Revo, which is supposed to make your ice fishing expedition a little bit easier. You've got a John Deere tractor involved in this, along with Minocqua Popcorn and Puffs.
Popcorn and Puffs.
Which is very interesting.
Also fun.
So it's a cool competition, right? They can vote for another... a couple of days here, and they'll whittle this thing down to 4, and then ultimately...
It's a cool competition. Yes, it is, Greg. It's a cool competition.
Coolest things in Wisconsin.
But the whole point of it, I mean, like you said, I didn't know this. I didn't know that. I didn't know that paper towels were made here in Milwaukee and that you could go and buy them. I love supporting local, so now I'm going to look for those paper towels. So that's the cool thing about this, is that, this whole competition, it really highlights the state's manufacturing industry, which is diverse and vibrant.
No doubt about that. Really cool stuff. Yeah, check it out here. The coolest stuff made in Wisconsin for 2024. We had a fun time with you and hope to see you out at the ballpark tonight. Brewers baseball, don't forget, coming up later today on an abbreviated or after an abbreviated Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Our coverage gets started at 5:30. First pitch just after 6 o'clock. And a win puts the Brewers in the National League Divisional Series, where they'll take on the Philadelphia Phillies. More Brewers coverage throughout the day here on WTMJ. We're back again tomorrow. The news is next, followed by Spanning the State.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our SiteX Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting creepy to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
Hey, who's getting hungry here? I know. You want to make it easy tonight. The game's going to be on. You don't want to have to spend time at the stove or hustling around for dinner. Oh, you got baseball to watch. That means you preheat the oven to about 425. You pop in a Palermo's frozen pizza. You pick, and then everybody's happy, right? You're eating in about 20 minutes, piping hot, delicious pizza while you're watching the game tonight. Sounds good to me. Connie's Urban Pie, Primo Thin. Well, they all sound good about now. Here's the tough part, picking which one you're going to have. There you go. Well, stop off at the store, pick up a variety. They've got a slice for every appetite. Palermo's proudly made in Wisconsin. Been doing it for 60 years and doing it the right way. Fantastic tasting frozen pizzas. And wherever you like to shop, Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Piggly Wiggly, Sendik's, Woodman's, you know the place. Wherever you go, you'll find it. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's big snacking and candy event. Right now, save on our incredible one-of-a-kind selection of craveable candies, nuts and trail mixes, and more. Like new Blaine's brand Heat and Honey, Magic Marshmallow, or Muddy Buddy trail mixes, just $3.99 a pound. Enjoy your favorite Blaine's Farm and Fleet chocolate snacks in 48-ounce resealable bags, only $12.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. Plus, this Saturday and Sunday only from 10 to 2, don't miss free in-store Blaine's Farm and Fleet candy and snack samples.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Add a chiropractic screening to your kid's back-to-school checklist. Reed came to Connect Chiro at just 9 years old. Sleep issues, headaches, getting sick all the time. I talked with his mom. He's now getting better sleep, better attendance at school, better health since she put her son in the care of Dr. Alex Young and his team. Great for kids because these docs use a special tool for all the adjustments, no twisting, no cracking, no popping. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. So many of you have told me about your plans for the future. Starting a business, buying a home, retiring near your grandchildren. But prices are too high. So let me tell you what I will do about it as president. I will take on price gouging. I will lower the cost of health care insurance. We cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors. I'm running to do that for everyone. And I will provide new down payment assistance to first-time home buyers and tax benefits to people who want to start their own business. Donald Trump, well, he wants to give more tax breaks to the wealthy, whereas I will cut taxes for the middle class instead. Because I know working people